let's go to my team and what I'm personally. It's so kind of crazy that our teams are literally playing the exact same time. Like, I want to watch both the
I know,
games,
right?
but like, I'm like, I got to choose. So first, let's
You might be
go.
able to
Let's go
with
with
yeah, depending on how your four-way TV's set up,
yeah.
like
I
you could
mean,
do
but the thing
four-way
is, I like to listen
screen.
to commentary. Like, I like to like listen to the commentary. So like,
Yeah,
if I have one game on, it's just gonna be that one commentary, and then you know, like I'll just have to just watch basically highlights
the
or the
silent.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it, man.
No, but so next, let's talk Arkansas versus them Pokes, Oklahoma State
Yes.
University. Now, what jumps off the page to me is like these two teams are literally only 3 hours apart, but haven't played, I think, 40 years since 1980.
Right.
Something to that effect. I'm like, that makes just no sense to me. Like, dude, they're right there. And honestly, you guys recruit the same players, and like you're a very similar program. And but this the whole difference is that we might be a little bit we might be a little bit better in terms of uh state of the program just because of money. Jerry Jones funds our entire college, so we can probably afford a little bit better facilities, a little bit better, I guess,
Okay.
NIL. I mean, the NIL situation for Oklahoma State's almost like non-existent, and that kind of tells me a lot about their players because their players aren't playing for money, really. I mean, of course they're getting paid, but like they seem to believe in the culture, and I kind of like that about OSU. They're there to
Right.
play for Mike Gundy, and I think that shows with their players. I mean, from what I've seen from them, they're pretty. I think the word that I would go with is grit. Like that's how I would uh, describe their players. Is it fancy? No. It's
No.
they're probably all around 3 stars to maybe a little bit lower. But in terms of like efficiency, camaraderie, and playing as a team, I think they're right up there with the best of them. And I think that shows in their play style, running through Ollie Gordon and that offensive line. Um, when you talk about grit, I don't think that Oklahoma State really that kind of respect's put on them, but I think that they deserve it. Ollie Gordon's an absolute monster, an absolute load, and if Arkansas wants to win this game, they're gonna have to stop the run.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think that's pretty much where we're
he's
at.
a day one. He's a day one running back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Easy.
I think that he's a second round pick right now. Uh, in terms
By the end
of
of the
his
season.
ability. Uh, but for this game, dude, it's really hard to tell because Arkansas just played Arkansas Pine Bluff, and granted, I do love 10 possessions, 10 touchdowns, but I don't know what I can actually take away from that game that applies to you know
Playing.
right 100%. I don't know like great you can score on high school players, but like Oklahoma's more of a load. They have an absolute monster defensive tackle. They have a really good
All right.
outside linebacker. Probably the best tailback in the country right now that we can
Right.
tell. Uh, a veteran offensive line unit, and you beat up on Arkansas Pine Bluff.
And then
Um,
two, yeah. I mean, South Dakota State, you know, better.
but I mean, it's one of the best FCS teams in
Right.
the country. So, like, you know, if you struggle with that, like, what does that tell me too? Like, I don't know. Are you an FCS level opponent, or like, was it like an off game? Did they just have a really good uh, plan for
Are they
you?
just going through basic plays, just trying
Right.
to work things out? That's usually what the first games are for a lot of these big programs. It's tune-up games. You
Mhm.
have some that are going to run away because they play Pine Bluff, and then you're going to have other guys that maybe struggle against the South Dakota State, an FCS team, just because it's early in the years, and a lot of these FCS teams they tend to have more mature players. So it's a good tune-up game. So I expect to see Oklahoma State get more to what they're doing. Um, It all is going to go through the running back, the tailback. It's also wouldn't you say it's their conference right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who else to really put up there. Like it's Oklahoma State and who,
Good.
you know,
Yeah,
Utah there now? Big
I think
12?
so.
Utah's decent. They're pretty good.
I think they're a top team, but I mean, like right now, I mean, of the old guard, Oklahoma State wants to maintain that. So Kansas, Kansas. Don't forget
Kansas
about
State,
them.
yeah.
No, just Kansas.
Oh, the
Jayhawks.
Jayhawks.
Raw
Oh,
chalk.
I mean, I like Kansas State too, to be honest. But like,
Kansas State's good. Kansas State always has a good program, man. They're a good football team, but Kansas has
yeah,
really been coming up. They've got a Jaden Daniels. I know we're going off, but I'm just saying, like Oklahoma State feels like they've always been able to compete with Texas and Oklahoma for the last few years. You know, they felt like they were like right there knocking on the door. They probably feel this is their year. This is their time to go to.
It's kind of like little brother syndrome, you know.
Playoff game. Yeah,
it's kind of like little brother syndrome to Texas and Oklahoma, probably a little bit. But now this is their conference, so they're the big brother now.
And why not take the SEC?
Right. That's what I'm saying. If I'm OSU, I want to put a statement out there and like, yeah, Arkansas isn't a powerhouse when it comes to the SEC right now. I say that as a Razorback fan. We'll see what we are.
When they compete a lot of football teams. They always.
I mean, last year we went to Tuscaloosa and it was 23-20. So like, you know, we play well, and we're not like, you know, garbage, but like also I know my place, and like right now we need to prove that we are that caliber of SEC team that can compete for an SEC title. Do I think that we're there and now? Dude, I'm not a bandwagon. I'm not a bandwagon. I'm not a homer to that extent. There's some stuff that we got to figure out, and we'll see. But I think Oklahoma State and Arkansas, I think that's honestly really, really good second game of the year for both teams. You're gonna know where you're at whenever this game is done, right?
Exactly.
If they play each other tough, then great, because I mean it's out of conference game, and you know, winner kind of feels better about themselves, and the losers kind of has to look themselves in the mirror and be like, what am I? You know, if Sam Pittman loses, if Sam Pittman loses his game, he's probably, depending on how he loses, it could be his last game, or it could be like, you know, spelling the end for him. And I hate to say that because I like Sam Pittman a lot, and I really would love to see Bobby Petrino stay on at Arkansas for a while. I want to see that because, I mean, in terms of offensive play calling, I don't think you get much better than Bobby Petrino.
Right.
And
the other thing is that what says a lot more for Oklahoma State as well, again, we have to go back to a Big 12 champion is in the college playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they could literally they're vying for that spot. And like I said, I know we know where Arkansas is, but we're a realistic fan, right? They are gonna struggle in the SEC. They're going to have some really good games, but they may not win all of them. And so Oklahoma State, again, it's our Big 12. It's our time to shine. We're the big brothers now, and we win this, we're in a college playoffs, and we got a chance to go for a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's
what you got a lot to play for.
Yeah, I think you have a lot to play for at that point. I mean, they're ranked number 16. I mean, apparently, you know, the announcers and the media likes OSU. I think everyone has them winning this game.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't think that's out of the realm. I mean, I say this yet again as an Arkansas fan. OSU has a lot going for them, and they need to play with a lot of confidence, believe in Ali Gordon, trust that offensive line to be who they are. The veterans, and you know, the most veteran offensive line in the country right now. They need to ride that horse, Ollie, all the way to the finish line. Arkansas needs to prove that they're an SEC team. They have to stop the run. They got to be physical. They got to put hats on Ollie Gordon, And
Yep.
whenever you have them in 3rd and long, pin your ears back and go get that quarterback. Because from what I know about him, actually, I can pull it up right now. From what I know about him, he is a turnover machine. Not this one. Sorry. Here. Bowman, last year, I believe he had 4 games with 4 picks. So whenever you ask him to put the game in his hands, he seems to put the game into other people's hands. And that's what I want. As an Arkansas fan, I want him throwing the ball, and I want him I want the ball as far away from Ollie Gordon as possible. I don't want to deal with him. He's an absolute load. And, you know, the less if we can hold Ollie Gordon to less than 22 touches, which good luck with that, Arkansas. I think Arkansas can win this game. Will that happen? I don't know. I know
It'd be close, man. I think it's going to be a pretty decent game, and then I think Oklahoma might and Ollie Gordon might take off.
Yeah,
and
I mean, and like
kind of push for
Arkansas,
like what we were thinking with Texas and Michigan. It's a closer game than you think, but this one's going to turn in. Arkansas was there, then Oklahoma kind of was like, okay, we're better.
yeah,
and they put the foot on the gas.
yeah. I mean, Arkansas is not too bad on defense. I mean, we have Landon Jackson, who's probably going to be his name has been talked about as a possible 1st-round pick. I mean, he has the size, he has the speed, he has the twitchiness, he has the motor. I think how well he does this year, I think that's going to really either solidify or maybe even like push him down a little bit NFL's draft size. But I mean, he has the capability of wrecking a game. Randy Gregory and Cam Ball also in the middle. They're really good guys. I think they're both about 320 and they can stop the run.
Randy Gregory went back to college, man?
Sorry, no. What's his name? That's it, Randy Gregory. Oh my God, Eric Gregory.
Gregory. I was like, Randy Gregory went back to college. He had to dominate somewhere, man.
Hey,
might as well be the Razorbacks.
Yeah, sorry, Eric Gregory. My bad, dog. It's Randy Gregory. I saw Gregory and just thought Randy. My bad. No,
hey, it's hard not to think about that great player.
No, but I mean, on the Arkansas offense side of this, we really upgraded our line comparatively to last year. Am I saying we're amazing? No. Are we better? Yes. We need to figure out who we are as a team. Are we power run, and then run and shoot type offense? Are we a power run straight on your throats? What are we? All I know is we have probably top 3 tight ends in the country, and we need to get the ball in his hands. Extremely fast, extremely tall, and Jordan Anthony. We'll see how it goes. He's a sophomore.
So I mean, so we're looking at wide receivers that are young right now.
Yes. Everyone except Broden. Broden, as I believe, is his senior year, but the dude's like 6'6" and runs a 4.4. So, yeah, if he can stretch the field, he can stretch the field. I think that it'll do well for him. But Taylon Green needs to be an efficient passer, and I think Petrino needs to get him on the move. Asking him to stay in the pocket and diagnose plays is probably not what you're asking him to do. You should Tebow the hell out of him. He needs to be Tim Tebow, reincarnate, and then hit the hole, and then outside the pocket, and then fun plays that require the pocket to not be in the middle of this space. But in terms of players on the defense, like these guys are known to give up plays. They're known to give up big chunk plays, and I think that this is going to be more of a shootout. Personally, I think if we're going to go into the scoring part of this, where I think the score is at the end of the game, I think I'm going to be a little bit of a homer because I believe in my Hogs. I think that they did well last week enough to show me that they're a different team this year. But I think this is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be 38-35 Hogs.
Okay. Yeah, I could see a very if we're going off of a shootout because again, like the defenses aren't great. 42-35. I could see we get in like a higher above 60. Like Oklahoma has that ability, but it'll go in Oklahoma's favor.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I mean, like I said, I'm being a bit of a homer just because I think I do believe in this team a little bit more than I did last year. And I believe in Bobby Petrino. That's the one saving grace that I have. I believe in Bobby Petrino to score a lot of points, in some way or the other, and especially on a defense that literally South Dakota State was able to make foolish. I think Arkansas has better talent than them. All around.
So we're thinking last team who has the ball drives down wins.
Yeah, that's where I think I'm at. I think Arkansas 38, Oklahoma.
I'll take that game. I'll watch 85. That game any day, man.
I think it's, to be honest, if I'm watching a game at 11 o'clock tomorrow, I think I'm putting on Arkansas OSU. I think that's going to be the more entertaining game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at with OSU and Arkansas. It'll be a shootout, 38-35, Razorbacks. That's what I'm calling.
Let's go.
All right. So another intermission and go.